Okay. Few minutes. Okay. Few minutes. Okay, here we. Okay, it just takes me a little bit longer. All right. So, hello everyone, and thank you so much for being here. And here we are, yet another Saturday, yet another topic, but pretty much the same 5 lines that you'll get to hear from me again and again. The topic that we've chosen for today is to figure out, what kind of an impact you have on others. And here it is, right off the bat, when we think of energy, when we think not of the body, because when you think of the body, then everything that you do, all the actions that you do, everything that you speak, your words have to be measured, and everything has to be right for you to be able to make a good impact on others. Those others might include, if you're just looking at home, it might include your children that you're wanting to have a good impact on. If you have a job where you're an influencer, it could be a school job where you're an influencer as a teacher, or somebody employed, at one of these trainings. Then you have to make sure that your actions are always right, and that you're able to influence people positively. We are also told every time, before you speak anything, look very carefully. Are your words hurting somebody? Are you being nice to everyone around? Are you being kind? Are you being compassionate? Are you being whatever it is that you're being? So we are always taught, right from the childhood, we are taught that we have to do everything right in terms of action. What we are not told in childhood is that no matter what you do, everything is going to go the way it is going to go, no matter what you do. And so then what is it that you are influencing? If everything is already going to go as it has planned to go, as it is meant to go, then what is it that you are influencing at all? In unawares, we are constantly being the energy frequency, whatever we tune into. What does it mean? When we see an event outside which is making us sad, we tune into sadness energies. We tune into the frequency of sadness. As somebody comes around, the person who is sad, and we look at them and we want to make them feel better, and we are feeling so sad for them, but we just really, really want to do something that will make them feel better, that will make their moment of sadness a little bit lighter. And we want to do something for that space. But from the space that we are at, now that we understand energy, now from the space we are at, if we too have signed into sadness, just as they are signed into sadness, then it's two people who are transmitting sadness frequencies at each other. What is it that they are sharing with each other? The sadness. And by sharing, this is just simply multiplying. Sadness doesn't get easier by sharing, not when we look at the energy terms of it. Yeah, you say that the laughter becomes double and the sadness becomes half or whatever, but it's just this, that everything just becomes double. When you're looking at the energy perspective, everything becomes double. Now it's you and it's them, both of them resonating at the same frequency. If that frequency is of joy, fabulous. Then it is that you're going to feel the joy twice over. Why is it that we feel that, okay, maybe, now we shared something, we feel lighter? In that moment that we shared something, we tuned into self-pity. We tuned into self-pity, not self-love. And when we tune into self-pity and the other person is showing some pity towards us, it gives us a feeling of being loved. Mind you, it is not love, it is pity. There is a difference between pity and love. In that moment that it is being given to us, we might be, for a little bit, we might even feel that this is love. However, the impact of both of them is very different. Love, when it comes in the unconditional stage, It just actually makes us feel lighter. But when we are sitting in sadness and somebody comes and we, so to say, we share our sadness with them, we sit with them and we cry ourselves out, we've shed some excess sadness. But if they are sitting in the same frequency as us, we are going to feel that same frequency again. And that's how we are influencers at all times. In the energy, whether we do something or we don't do something, the energy is always doing. Whether the body is taking action or not taking action, the energy is always in action. And so whenever we think of the energy that we are carrying, that's why it's so beautiful that when we begin to realize the energy that we are sitting in, and when we are able to change our own energy, that's the one that we start to transmit. As an aware person who is constantly looking at myself as energy and not as body anymore, I will be able to see immediately when I'm tuned into anger, when I'm tuned into sorrow, when I'm tuned into sadness, and I'm going to be able to shift myself, or at least, if not immediately able to shift, at least I can begin the work on myself to shift my frequency. I have completed the first step, which is basically awareness of where is it that I'm sitting in this moment. The minute I am aware, I can start the shifting process. Sometimes it shifts immediately, and the other times it doesn't shift. Or sometimes we work so hard. There are so many people who call me and say, I've been working on this frequency of despair or sadness for so long. And I just think, okay, today I've released for 3 hours and it's gone. But, I wake up in the morning and those same thoughts come back again to me. And it's not, it's come back right over again. And I always remind them, yes, the process of release is not really that you are letting go of the frequency. You are able to see the frequency as a frequency. When we are able to see the frequency as just a frequency, it's a despair frequency, it's sad frequency, it's irritating frequency, but it's a frequency. When we are able to see the frequency as a frequency, we are able to take the actors out of the picture. The actors don't matter at all. It's the frequency that is playing, and that frequency that is at play has basically called for us to act out in that way, to be in that state so that we can experience the emotions that are coming through. We are able to experience those emotions, those frequencies, when we tune into them. And when we are tuning into them, there has got to be a story outside, some actors outside, which are going to make us experience whatever it is that is in our energy field. But when we are aware, and when we are looking at simply as frequencies, everything as a game of frequencies, then we recognize in that moment that outside is simply a play. That's not where the action is. The action is only in my frequency. When we put the finger here fully, in that moment, the story outside disappears. It disappears from here because we've recognized what is the real ingredient that's making that story. In that moment, if there are 5 actors outside, and in that moment you are sitting in despair, and outside more and more despair is being created, even though you think you are releasing everything. But if you can see outside, if you can see actors outside, if your eyes are still going to them and trying to figure out how can you make things better for them, how can you make things better for somebody else outside of you, then you are still in the story. We're constantly in the stories, in and out of stories. When we become aware, it becomes easier and easier to recognize the stories, even if at times we are not able to get out of them. Not instantly, not immediately. Why? Because that frequency wants to play through you. That frequency simply wants to play through you. You are running away from it. And so the first step always being to be able to see the frequency and recognize it's just a frequency, to take away all of those sharp edges from that frequency. When we say it's just a frequency, it's just an experience. We don't need to really, every experience that we sit in, I know that we begin, and I always teach that we can choose to change those experiences. But when we choose to change those experiences in a hurry, that, okay, I don't want this experience anymore. This is done. I'm so done with it. I can't sit. I cannot tolerate this anymore. You are still coming from a frequency. You think you're trying to work on your energy, but firstly, you're already coming from a frequency of irritation, or let us say more desperation. You have to be able to recognize where all you are coming from to say that the finger gets pointed within. Because no matter what you are doing or not doing, you are constantly somebody who is impacting the energy space. You're constantly impacting the energy space with the energy frequency that you are. So if you are sitting in irritation because somebody else is sitting in hurt, let us say, you are sitting in irritation because they are sitting in hurt, or something happened and now you are totally irritated. Now, that's the transmission that you are sending out. That's what you are doing to the environment. That's how you are impacting that person as well. Now, not only are they hurt, but if they take on any bits of your frequency as well, they are going to be hurt and irritated. It's the same way with you as well. When somebody else is transmitting, they are transmitting hurt, they're transmitting hurt. There is a possibility that you will too begin to sit in hurt. You will find some occasion, some event, something to do that will make you sit in more hurt. As you sit in more hurt, if you are aware, you will be able to place the finger on the frequency of hurt itself. If you are not aware, then of course, as life goes on, we get to see every frequency at play more and more outside till one day we decide to become aware again. Aware again is a term I use over here only because most of you people have been coming over here for a few months, for a few years, and you know that we can tune back into the frequencies of the heart. Separation will always bring out these agitated frequencies, and oneness of the heart will bring peace to yourself. As you flow towards peace more and more, as you change your frequency and flow towards peace more and more, you become that kind of an influencer. You are now the influencer that's bringing more peace. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to move from your chair. You don't need to go out and tell everybody it's okay, it's going to be all right. No, you don't have to, because your energy is already speaking that. When we are unaware, we go to people and we are saying the very same words. It's going to be okay. You don't worry. It's going to be all right. However, if inside you yourself are holding the energies of worry, then that's what is being transmitted, and that's what you are sending to those people as well. That's how you are influencing them constantly, by putting them in more worry. When people go to hospitals and they have their loved ones inside the hospital and they are just simply there to meet with them or be with them or spend all of their time with them, it doesn't matter. But when people go to the hospital, and if they have a conversation with me before that or around that, I constantly remind them, I say to them, as you go into the hospital, please don't be sending, more energies of worry and anxiety to that who's already, sitting in the hospital with so many more fears and anxieties. You land up in a hospital. What are the energies of a hospital? Everybody who's going into the hospital, largely worry, fear, anxiety. There's hardly a few people who go into a hospital with masti on their minds. But that number, that tribe is increasing as we have many more of us growing. However, but when we normally go to the hospital, the large majority of the hospital is all sitting with fear, anxiety, worry, and all of those frequencies. When we are unaware, that's simply what we pick up. We think, we worry more. Will this happen? Will that not happen? And we think that, there is worry because tomorrow is the surgery or something else is happening, blah, blah, blah. And that's why we are worrying. No, we are not worrying for that reason. We are simply worrying because we have tuned into the worry frequency. Worry frequency is in the air. But when you are in the place where there is so much more worry frequency, then that's what you tune into. And so when we again and again remind ourselves in awareness, okay, whatever is happening, am I able to surrender it? And what does surrender mean? Letting go of the outcome. The surgery needs to go well. This needs to happen. That needs to happen. My relative needs to come back in this state or that state. All that you are doing as you think of that relative with worry and fear, you're actually impacting them. You are sending envelopes and envelopes of worry towards them. They'll open some of those envelopes, their energy will open some of their envelopes, and they will become a little bit more worryful. Not that it matters. Their energy wanted it. Their energy wanted to experience more worry. It'll get there through you. You will become the instrumental piece. In this place, you could be the instrumental piece in getting them to peace frequency as well. And how would that be? That even if you are sitting in a situation of stress, even as you are sitting in a situation that calls for irritation or anger, if you're able to observe, everything gets simply a frequency. Okay, I'm tuned into this frequency of irritation. Is this the place where I really wish to be? If this is the place that I really wish to be, great. If not, I can move my compass, my needle back. I remind you all again and again, the easy way to move the compass, the needle, is to come into the frequency of Meenal. There's a lot of joy and masti in that frequency. And with ease and grace, you can move that needle. However, I'm also reminding you right now, I've done that many a times again, but I'm reminding you once again that for you to be able to release your anger, you release your anxiety, your worry, your whatever it is that you're sitting in, if you are looking to release something, the first step is going to be the finger within. With the finger within comes the acceptance and the allowance of it's just a frequency. No matter how much you're wanting to impact somebody in a positive way, your words can be as positive as you wish for them to be, whether it's your children or it's somebody. But if you haven't first cleared your energies, every child, every adult, every human is not just the body, they're the body plus the energy. In the body, they will be receiving your kind words, and their 99% energy will be receiving everything else. There is no lying. You cannot lie in the energies. And so everything that you are giving to them, whether in the face or behind the face, whatever it is that you are giving to them, you are impacting them. A story comes to me from my own life, this reminder. So when I got into this path, and, all these answers started to come to me and all of that. And there was a great wish inside me. There was like so much of a wish and so much of a need inside me that, oh, now that I've started to get the answers, everybody around me should also be able to receive those answers with the ease and grace that I am seeing. And so I wanted to impact my entire environment in a much more positive way. And so, I started to tell people to come into, whatever workshops I was doing. I started to tell people about that. I started to tell my own family about that as well. I would talk to them about stories of ease and grace. And under every story of ease and grace, there was like this hidden wish inside me that I hope or I wish that my brother would do my program. My brother should come for the program because he was going through a really, really difficult struggle in his life. And so I was like, if he can only come to my program, he is going to find all the answers. And why doesn't he come? And he should come. And the more I would sit in this, he should come. And the more I would talk to him, in those days, it wasn't so clear to me the way it's clear today, that everything is about me, about my energy, and outside is just a reflection. In those days, there was a person outside, and then there was me. And then I was simply trying to help that person. How many times has it happened with us that we see somebody in deep, dire distress, and we really, really want to help that person? It happened to me a lot in those days, and especially when I saw that family itself was going through so much of distress, so much of despair. I really wanted to help them. And so here it was. I kept telling him to come. I kept telling him to come. And the more I told him to come, the farther he ran away. It wasn't that he didn't believe or he didn't see the miracles that I was going through. And he could see that life was becoming so easy for me. However, the more I told him you should do this, the farther he ran away. Here it is. I was there in the 1% body. I was telling him to change his ways. I was telling him how he can do this program and be totally, free and all of that. And yet there I was in the energies, sitting with so much desperation that he hasn't changed. Why isn't he changing? He should change. He could change. Why hasn't he done so? So here we go. My energies of desperation were totally the way that I was being an influencer. That was the impact I was having on the environment. My energies of desperation were totally going towards him as well. Whether he changed or not, well, he definitely showed me my whole desperation even more and more. That experience of mine kept getting intensified and more intensified, as every time I had a program in the city that he was in, and he would drop, he would drop my mother to the program, he would drop a few other relatives and friends and family and everybody to the program, but he would just be at the door and not come in. And here it was, the kind of energies that I was sending out towards him, he was totally receiving them. He was totally receiving them. And so when the journey moved further, and it all came to my understanding that there is no brother, there is nobody whose life needs to be changed. There is everything that is already happening as it needs to happen, as his energy is willing to do, as his journey is willing to move forward. When I recognize that more and more, that everything is all about me and my energy, and all of this is simply a reflection to me. And in that point in time, I was able to release the expectation that he should ever do a program that will change his life. There is no need to change his life. And my job is not to change his life. My job is to give him unconditional love. Isn't that the kind of influencer we are looking to be? To be influencers, to be senders and receivers of unconditional love. And so I had put this big condition in my love, saying, oh, I love you so much, please change. So here it was, having to let go of that kind of love was my learning. And as I got into my learning, as I got deeper and deeper into my learning, and I began to accept his journey as being perfect. Whatever the journey is, it is perfect. As that happened, what happened firstly? Firstly, I came to more peace, not him. I came to more peace. Whatever was happening with him, I could look at that as a story. I could look at that part as a journey that he had to move into. In that place where all of the desperation used to be there to change him, in that place was now simply peace, because I had understood that my work is not to change the world. I am the world. It is only my job to change myself, to look within and to be able to see what am I transmitting in every moment. And so the transmission became more and more clear of unconditional love. And I stopped having any expectations of anything ever changing. And when fully those expectations were met, or rather broken, then the expectations were met. And so this is the beautiful paradox. When people talk to me about, but you really, don't you really want to change something? Or how can I not want to change? My son is going through so many issues. And how can you say I would be failing myself in the role of a mother if I'm not taking care of him, if I'm not looking after him? I would be failing myself as a role of a son or a daughter if I don't look after my parents? Look at where you are coming from. In the role, that role is simply giving you so much of responsibility and guilt. It is giving you so much of judgment towards yourself that you are not being a good son or a daughter, you're not being a good spouse, you're not being a good parent. And as you sit in these judgments for yourself, your love towards you is not unconditional. There is nobody else. Firstly, the love towards you, yourself, is going to be unconditional. Only then an outside, that reflection, can receive that love of unconditionality from you. And so, again, taking a look at all of this to say, if you are too attached to a role, if you're so engrossed in a role, whether it be of a mother or a parent, then take a look, because this is just simply a role. And the energy of the other person is not moving as per your desire. However, that energy of that person is going to be receiving all the fears that you are holding. Because whenever we get too much into the role of a mother or a parent or even a child, whenever we get into that role of a responsible child, then the one thing that we play a lot in is fear. And so what you are doing is you're constantly actually influencing that person, not just that person. You are the overall influencer of the environment with your fear frequencies. When you are holding the frequency with you not knowing, with you knowing, at every point in time, the frequency that you are transmitting is whatever it is that you are holding. Many people, in the families that I see, they will sit in their own different rooms and they will not talk to each other. And that's how peace in the house is maintained. However, peace in the house is not being maintained. Why is peace not being maintained? Because until and unless there is peace over here, you will not be giving peace to anybody else. The transmission is all from here or here. The transmission is not that you have 50 rooms in the house and so everybody can go sit and not even see each other's faces. The minute you're thinking about someone, and the minute that someone holds a trigger for you, that trigger, the minute you thought about them, your energy has already reached them. So what should we do? Should we live in fear and dread of, oh my God, now what did I send out? Oh my God, not what did I send out? Here is the thing. You don't have to think of anything except the frequency that you are setting in. When you are able to answer that question again and again, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? When I think of that person, what am I feeling? When I think of something that just happened, what am I feeling? Where you are able to bring the needle to your own frequencies and bring the shift from there, automatically the rest of the universe is taken care of. You don't have to go individually and say, okay, now I said a very hurtful thing to that person. Oh my God, now have I increased their hurt? Well, when you look at this thought of, have I increased their hurt? What is it that you are feeling? You are feeling guilty. What is the work that has come on you? It is to release this guilt. Somebody sent out a video yesterday to many of us, and that video was all about talking to plants. There was a test conducted wherein there were 3 different sets of plants, or seeds rather, and then you were talking to that plant, and one plant was just being left normal, and the other plant was being talked with great amount of love, and the third plant was being talked about with great amounts of negative energies, or not love but hate. So these are the 3 plants. And then, of course, as you can almost kind of understand, that the plant which had the most amazing things being said to it, the best compliments, well, it delivered to those compliments. The plant which was not being said to kind of flourished, but the plant which was being said rude things to and mean things to, it completely was a half-dead plant, even as it started to kind of grow. So that's the whole thing. And the whole point of that was that if you can just only imagine that your words can have such an impact on the plant, what kind of an impact are you having on people around you? And that's where, that's what I looked at the story and I smiled, because to me, no matter what the plant is doing or what the plant is receiving, to me, the finger always comes back within with that one question. When I heard that story, when I read that story, what am I feeling? And I could almost sense that the people who were speaking bad things to the plant would feel guilty by the end of it all, saying, oh my God, look what we did to the plant. Where is the work? I would say the plant is the plant. The plant has its own life cycle. A plant would have chosen. We think that we are the ones who are creating that plant, and we are the ones who are creating the mapping of how that plant is going to be, what that plant is going to become. However, that plant has already got that information within it. It's called universal intelligence, and it's there in the seed itself. The seed of the plant holds all the information as to what it is going to turn out to be. Yes, you're speaking those words and feeling those words. So you being in the energies of anger would have created that same energy and environment around the plant as well. And it would have taken some of those frequencies, incorporated it into its growth, and then there were the results. When you are the one who's brought that to the plant, the next question that I bring to you is, what is it that you would feel if you did this to a plant, or if not a plant, then to somebody around you? What is it that you would feel? Focus on your feeling, because as we ourselves feel guilty, I can almost just imagine that when people are saying mean things to the plant, that anger frequency within them, for them to be really mean, they would have to experience the anger themselves as well. For them to be really rude, they would have to experience that part of themselves for themselves as well. And so when you are angry with the outside, when you are being mean to the outside, there is no outside. You are simply being angry at yourself. You are being mean to yourself. And that's the kind of conversation. It's not to the plant or somebody outside. It's the kind of conversation that you have with yourself most of the times. Being mean outside, when words come out of your mouth which are mean, being mean outside is simply a pointer for you to be able to look at yourself to say, how many places am I so judgmental and mean to myself? How many places am I treating myself the same way that I'm treating this person? And that will give you an idea of how mean or how judgmental you are towards yourself. And the whole idea is not about you being nice to the whole world. The world doesn't exist. However, it is all about you being nice to yourself, you being in love with yourself, you being loving to yourself. And so as you are being loving to yourself, whether you look at the plant and you say things to it or not, it doesn't matter. It's already receiving your energy, because that's what you are transmitting. So the whole finger coming right back at you. When you're being nice to the plant, when you're being good to somebody else outside, and when you're being just nice to them from the words itself, you're saying very, very nice things and not feeling those good things for yourself, not feeling that goodness, not feeling that joy of speaking. If you're just making a facade of it and not really being truthful as you give compliments, understand that truthfulness component, that 1% truthful that you are, that your body is saying those words, but the 99% is also being received by them. That's not truthful. And that's exactly how important words are. Words don't carry energy by themselves. It's the energy that you carry that you transmit through those words. And so whatever energies that you are carrying, if you are able to look at them, then whether you speak or you don't speak, you are constantly being an influencer. You're constantly impacting the environment positively when you are aware, and whatever it is that when you are not aware. So again, bringing back, if you want to be so aware and to have only a positive influence on the world outside, then all that you have to do is give yourself a lot more love. That's it. All that you have to do is to give yourself some more love. It's not about anybody else. It's always only about you. Any questions on this? Let's see. Nope, not so far. Does anybody want to ask any questions? Or everybody is so clear that we are constantly impacting? We're constantly impacting, whether we like it or we don't like it, whether we know it or we don't know it, but we are constant influencers to the environment. And whenever we have somebody's name with whom we are doing so much of fearful thinking, especially with our children, oh my God, he's not studying. What will happen? He will fail. He will not do this. His entire future will be ruined, blah, 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 blah. Whatever thoughts or fears we are churning and churning, not only are we growing the fear for ourselves, but we are a constant transmitter of fear frequency as well. When we are a constant transmitter of fear frequency, anybody who wishes to receive those frequencies will find it easy to tune into your frequency. I tell everybody, tune into me frequency is the frequency of abundance, but it doesn't mean that you can only tune into me frequency. Many people are tuning into your frequencies, and if your frequencies are of fear, well, that's what they are taking away from you. You are the frequency transmitter for fear. That's how you are influencing the environment. Can you even imagine how large the fear can become, that it can engulf almost the entire world as we know it? We saw that happen. The fear frequency come to peak when everybody was transmitting fear at the same time, and more fear happened through those years of Corona. So we know how we are constantly an influencer of our frequencies. Yeah, Asha, you want to ask a question?
My question is, when you feel that you need harmony in family affairs, so that time, what frequency? I suppose if I am at peace and I love myself,
yes.
Just know whatever you said,
yes.
It's so nice, so wonderful, that I feel that the Maitri, Anand, compassion, Karuna, love, all those topics, all those
yes.
words, I should feel it. I should feel that the energy of love is going out from me outside because I love myself.
When
so in those
when you love yourself, it's not everything that happens outside, how you will feel it. You will not be feeling like you sitting over there and you just vibrating and vibrating or whatever, and you will be sitting like this and saying, okay, I'm feeling that. The way that we feel it, the way that normally we feel it is when something happens. Normally we are just loving to ourselves or whatever, but when something happens that is a moment of judgment, let us say that somebody comes and tells you, oh, you did this really badly, and because of this has happened or that has happened. Let us say somebody finds a moment of criticism towards you. Are you able to put the finger within and in that moment feel the love for yourself? That one moment might be even outside when you might even get a little bit, oh my God, no, I didn't mean to do that. But the next minute, if you are able to feel love for yourself, saying, okay, this is how it was meant to happen probably. And, I am Shiva, but they are Shiva too. Everyone is Shiva. And so when somebody is giving you the blame, normally it is that we are sitting in love for ourselves without knowing whether we are sitting in love or not. But when your own mirror comes and takes a test and shows you some blame, are you going to take that frequency and sit more in the blame for yourself? Or are you going to be able to move that to love? That's how we grow our self-love. That's
that
why
time I have to love myself, right?
Only unconditionally.
Frequency of love.
Whatever happens, whatever doesn't happen. When you say, I have to love myself, it happens more and more as we release judgments to ourselves. As we release judgments that, no, this is the right thing. I have to do the right thing. And then you say whether it is the right thing or the wrong thing, I love myself. So it's a reminder that you constantly send to yourself that no matter what happens through me, no matter how life is, no matter what I'm able to do for people, no matter what I'm able to do nothing for people. However, do I love myself for doing nothing? Most of the times we can say, oh, I do so and so, and that is why I feel good. Oh, I'm very, very worthy. But what if you were doing nothing, nothing at all? Would you feel equally worthy? If that is the case, that you would feel worthy, then you are sitting in total self-love in that moment. And so that is why just this reminder. And why do we get a reminder? We would judge ourselves in some place saying, oh, I could have done this better. And then immediately letting go of that you didn't do it better, you weren't good at it, you weren't successful at it, you are awesome. Irrespective of what you do, you are awesome. That's why the mantra that I give to everyone is, I am awesome. Now, you talked about something that when there is a need, I want the family to be in harmony. Yeah. The family, I want it to be in harmony. I want to be the one radiating love. And so from me, love should go to this other person and they should come in harmony as well. It's exactly the same example that I told you about. It is exactly the same example that I picked up from my life when I said, oh, everybody needs to be in this ease and grace that I'm finding. Everybody else needs to be in there as well. And the work was totally on me to let go of my expectation of how somebody else's life should be. The acceptance of everybody being their own Shiva. And then that need that I should be radiating love outside, that need itself will drop. There is no need for you to radiate love outside. The only thing that you have to do is to be observing yourself to see what are you feeling. So when you are feeling the disharmony outside, then what is it that you are feeling? You are feeling uncomfortable. You want more love to be outside. The minute we want something, the frequency is of lack. The minute we want something, we are sitting in lack of that very thing. So the frequency that we have tuned into in wanting something, oh, but I only want my whole family to be happy. Yeah, but who are you to want that? Everybody is their own Shiva. Everybody is going to be as their energy wants them to be. But if you wish to send out energies of love to each one of them, you have to honor everybody's journey as it is. Even releasing this need that everybody should live in love. Oh, a lot of parents feel this. They get into so much of, they'll have 2 children and both the children will constantly keep saying, oh, I hate the other one. And this happens totally beautifully when there are small children in your house. And then this one will say, oh, but she does this and I don't like, and I hate this person. And the other one will say, no, I hate this person. And the 2 siblings are constantly in hate with each other. And as the parents look at the hate, what happens? The parents are like, no, you have to love each other because you're family. Family is supposed to love each other. There is no concept called family in the energy. Whatever actors they have chosen to play out their roles, those roles will be played out. Those roles can only be changed when people are in awareness of the role. That's when they can change it for themselves. And that too is not up to you that, no, I think that you should come to awareness now. And I think you should change your role because you are suffering. Everyone is their own Shiva and they have their own journey. And it is for us only to honor ourselves. And the second step, to honor that journey, whichever everyone is taking. When there is so much of disharmony in the house and you wish to preserve something, you see, this is a wish and a desire. The minute we have a wish and desire, even if the wish and desire is to give love, but it's a wish and desire because love doesn't need to be given. It's a frequency. When you are sitting in self-love, that love is already being transmitted. You are already the influencer. You are already sending out love. Whoever wants to receive that love will receive it, not as your love, so as to say, but simply as the love frequency. So if you want to be transmitting love, you don't even, I tell people, nobody call me. I don't talk to people. I don't do anything. I don't I don't want people to call me and say, okay, how are you doing? Are you okay? This happened and you helped me and whatever. I'm like, send me WhatsApp messages. There's no need to call me. Otherwise, would I not want that, okay, you call me and tell me, how are you doing? I hope you're doing better today. Yesterday you called me with a problem. Is that problem better today? If I ask you 5 times, is your problem better today? It simply shows to me that I've become attached to your problem. And if I have become attached to your problem, I will have expectations of some sort to be able to let you become, let you find a solution to the problem, or let you become free of that problem. I have become attached to the solution. So over here, what would I do? I would look at myself and release my attachments and expectations, because there is no solution that is ever needed by anyone. Everything that we think of as a problem is simply a play of the frequency that we are holding. The frequency, as it continues, will continue to show us the problem. The frequency, the minute it changes to answer frequency, the minute it changes to another frequency of the heart, the solution will come by. To every problem, the solution will come from the solution frequency. The question frequency, the need frequency is not the answer frequency. The answer frequency is different. The question frequency is different. So the need frequency is different.
One more thing I want to ask.
Yes.
Yeah, suppose you are blamed constantly by the members of other family.
Yes.
And then what time at that time I should see what I'm feeling now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then what type of thoughts I should have?
You should have whatever thoughts you're having. Whatever thoughts you're having.
No, but then suppose the blame is so much. Sometimes, you get hurt. So I just acknowledge the hurt feeling.
That's the hurt frequency of yours that is causing everybody outside to put the blame on you. That's how the finger comes within to your frequency, that why is everyone blaming me? And I talked about this right in the beginning of the session itself. Right in the beginning of the session, this particular session, I said the finger has to come within and outside actors will vanish. You're asking me, oh, outside actors are saying this. What should I do? And I say, bring the finger within to see what frequency, what am I feeling? I'm feeling hurt. So whose hurt frequency is it?
My own.
Correct. So your hurt frequency is causing this drama outside.
Right.
Your frequency is causing this drama outside. So what will you do? You will work on your hurt frequency. Yeah. That is it. You will work on your hurt frequency, because it is not the actors outside that are causing the drama outside for you. It is your hurt frequency inside of you that is causing the drama outside of you. But outside drama is caused. Are you able to come back to that place of, I love myself? I love myself. And from that place of love, now to be transmitting love. When people are blaming you, you're like, you are blaming me, but I love myself. No, your love for yourself is still judgmental. It still holds a lot of judgment. And that's why people are judging you. So go through my webinar of self-love to see what unconditional self-love towards you looks like. Because till the time you keep holding judgment, other people will keep judging you. That's all. But who's holding the judgments? You. Who's holding the hurt frequency? You. Can you work on the other people? You don't need to. You don't need to, because the other people don't exist. This whole drama is coming up again and again for whatever reason, only because there is hurt frequency in you that you still are yet to address. You keep tuning. We'll tune into hurt frequency for a moment. That's okay. It's not like we can't tune into hurt frequency. We shouldn't tune into hurt frequency. The point is not that you have tuned in or not. The point is, from the hurt frequency, how much of awareness are you in to recognize that the frequency of hurt is only a frequency. It's only a frequency. And it's a hurt frequency. And you've tuned into it and you can tune out of it. But no, you sit with, oh, they said this and then they said that. Oh my God, how can they say that? That is so bad. Oh my God, I'm not even like this, but they're blaming me for no reason. Now you are in the story. Now you are no longer in awareness. Now you are no longer looking at how am I feeling? Because as soon as you say, how am I feeling? The story will be out. Oh, they created all of that drama because they had to point me towards my own frequencies of hurt. That's the final line. It's my frequency and it's only a frequency that I sat in. Okay, so I can sit out of it as well. That's how. Okay.
Thank you very, very much.
Right. Wonderful. Yeah. And somebody writes, I often think so did great saints like Buddha, Mahavir, RK, etc. play their roles to awaken people from a space of knowing that unawareness is also fine? I often think what gives these people their passion and purpose to make people see their own divinity. Is it guidance and oneness, or any action will arise out of a little need to awaken humanity? It sounds like a catch-22. How cute is that? I can't speak for anybody. That's it. Because I can only speak for the emotions that I feel. How can I even make conjectures on what do you think that he was feeling when he did that? We don't know. However, if anybody chose to get awakened and aware, I can only simply understand that it was their own energy that was bringing them to that awareness path. And somebody, a teacher, a guru, a guide, would appear as a reflection of their own divinity. Somebody will pick up a role. It's a role. If a RK or a Buddha or somebody got stuck to the role and insisted that no, they must awaken people, then they would come into that space of need-based. On that day that they feel the need. Oh, bloody hell. Can everybody hear this nonsense noise, or is it only in on?
It's only over your head.
Only on my head. Can you hear it? No?
No.
Oh, so cute. This is so amazing. There's such loud noise happening right in my. Okay, and I'm like, oh God, can they stop? I can't hear myself. And hopefully everybody will not be disturbed or some such thing. So funny. Okay, so fine. So you people are not disturbed in any case. I'm the only one in my head. All right. So we were talking about what did Buddha feel and what did RK feel and what did they feel constantly. I don't know what they felt constantly because there's no word called constant. Every day till the time we are on the body, we will come and we will feel different emotions on a daily basis. Whatever it is that they were feeling, that was the human part of them feeling. They were aware, then they would have looked at their energy and they would have looked at the Maya that's playing out, the illusion that somebody needs to become aware. And then they would have laughed at themselves. From that place, they would have shifted the energy without doing anything. They picked up a role of a guru. They picked up a role of a guru. They had to do something in their lives. I have to do something in my life. And so there's a role, and it's a beautiful role because people come to you and it's their divinity that's calling out. And I'm simply a reflection. But when I work on myself, it's my own journey of working on myself every single day and becoming empty of thoughts. On days, do I get up and say, oh, I wish I could change this person's life? Of course I do. I've tuned into the frequency of lack on that day. I've forgotten that that person too is on their journey and they don't need any shifting and their energy will bring them to shifting and all of that. And it'll come within 5 minutes because when I'm the next moment aware, then that thought of unawareness will find its own answer. So of course you will move from here to there and there to here. You move in frequencies all the time, but to think that everybody, that a Buddha lived his life just a constant dead man. with no emotion at all. No, that's not how life plays out. The life plays out as a frequency in every moment. However, in the aware moment, while you can't change the frequency from coming to you, however, you can change the way that you are going to feel about it. When the frequency of sadness arises, you will feel sad for a minute, and then you will be able to change how you feel about that sadness. You will be able to see through that awareness that you hold, you will be able to see sadness as it's just a frequency. It's just a frequency. What am I going to choose to transmit today? And that's where the entire game of awareness and unawareness is played. You want to know what motivated them? I think the fact that motivated them was that they were breathing. They still had breath. They had to do something, and they did it. Whatever is the role, don't get so caught up in roles. You're constantly defining people. Oh, this person is a guru, this person is a disciple, this person is a cheat, this person is a thief. Those are judgments that limit us. When we live in judgments of others, those are the way. It doesn't even matter that you are judging somebody to be a guru. You are still judging them. You are still limiting them to the role they were. They are energy. You are the frequency of Buddha. You are the frequency of RK, you are the frequency of money, you are the frequency of Vivekanand, you are every frequency there is when you are aware and you are able to tap into it. What stops you from being that? What purpose did they have? What made them move towards their purpose? If anybody moved towards a purpose with this thought that they have to change the world, they have to, they've come here to make the entire world a better place to live in. When you want a world of a better place to live in, you've already forgotten the illusion that the world is. Then in that place where you want the world to be a better place to be, you are sitting in the frequency of lack. That's how it works. And mind you, again, as I said, it's a daily grind. It's a daily bath. You take a bath every day. Tomorrow again, lack is in the air. You might be the most aware person and you will catch hold of lack. You might even carry it forward a few days and become so ingrained in lack that you really do think that you've been sent here to make the world a better place. But the minute awareness strikes, you will be able to see through the illusion. Okay. All right. I'm still reading your question and seeing, is it guidance and oneness or any action will arise out of a little need to awaken humanity? I often think what gives these people their passion and purpose to make people see their own divinity. People will see their own divinity with and without any help from any guru, because that is the property within us. Whether there's a guru that exists outside, exists in the energy form, exists in any form, the guru is simply going to come when the disciple, those energies of the disciple are ready to shift their gear to the guru frequency. And it can happen 5 times in a day. You can be a guru 5 times in a day and be a disciple 20 times in a day. Energies don't work as a constant state of deadness. They're very dynamic and they work from moment to moment. And in the unawareness, you simply sit in that moment. In awareness, you look at the moment, you observe the moment, and you're able to change the moment if you feel like. After all, that's your choice. Okay. All right, everybody. Okay. So let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And now, today, we are going to do a thankfulness meditation to our body. This body through which everything is experienced. All of our experiences coming from the body form. So simply taking a deep breath in and release. And as you take your next breath in, put your focus on your face. On your face. With your closed eyes or open eyes, or however you want it to be, but putting your focus on your face. Maybe you wish to use your hands, and you can use your hands to cover your eyes as you put your focus on the eyes. And you use your hands to bring your focus to the thankfulness that you feel for the eyes. So thankful for everything that you do to me, these eyes. So thankful. Going to the nose, moving your hands or simply observing your nose and being able to feel the thankfulness for every breath in and out that goes through this nose, unknown to us, unobserved by us so many different times. But this nose, so thankful for it. The mouth, feeling so thankful for the mouth that allows us to communicate, to express whatever it is that we are feeling, to put into words, to be able to receive and ask through the mouth. So thankful for the mouth. And the ears that allow us to listen to everything that's happening around us. For us to be a part of this universe so that we can look at it, listen to it, and participate in it. All of these body parts of ours on the face itself. Thankfulness to each body part. Moving down to the neck. So thankful for this neck that holds us up. We hold our neck up and we bow it down to express ourselves in so many different ways. We say yes and we say no. And the neck helps us communicate so much. So thankful to the neck. To our arms and to our hands. To put our focus on these arms and our hands. So integral for everything that we do. We write, we make things, we create through the use of these hands. Barely do we stop on any day and become thankful for their presence in our lives. But today, we take this moment to thank our arms, our hands, for being with us, so thankful for this gift. Moving down to our main body part, to the chest and all that it holds, to the stomach and all that holds. Every single day, these body parts help us take the breath in, take the food in. So thankful for all of the body parts that help us. Creating a sustained living for ourselves. All of these body parts that help us live a full life. Moving down to the sex organs. So amazing, these body parts that help us to receive so much pleasure in this life. So much pleasure and so much happens through them. Even the birth of a new life through us, when we are chosen as instruments by the next energy to come through us. Our sexual organs, so important, so beautiful, so amazing. So much thankfulness for them in our lives. Moving down to the legs, the legs that carry us every single day. They help us walk distances. They help us stand. They help us sit. Everything that happens through them. So thankful for these beautiful parts of our body that help us in everyday living with so much ease and grace. So many body parts not thought of right now. Wherever your attention goes to, simply go there. Maybe it is your buttocks. Maybe it is another part of your body. Up and down. Maybe it's just your forehead. Maybe it's your hair. Any body part that's attached to you. In this moment, wherever your attention goes, simply bow and be thankful to that body part. Rarely do we ever bring our attention so much to everything that's happening so naturally in each and every moment. So many of our body systems getting together to create a full life for us. And the only time that we actually pay attention is when they stop working or they give us some problem. So today, without any problem, without any issues with any body part, we simply say thankful. We stay thankful. We don't even ask them to change. I wish I was a little bit less on my stomach. I wish I was a little bit more here or there. No, no demands. Just simply thankful for what we have as it is. In the moment, how it is, thankfulness. I am so grateful that you are here for all my experiences. I am so grateful that you are part of all my experiences. I am so grateful that you show me so much of my energy and how I can release, and you show me the path forward through these experiences, for which I am so grateful. Sitting in this thankfulness and being so grateful to every body part. Allowing yourself to be completely at ease with your own body. It is as it is. Om Mani, Om Mani, Om Mani. Okay, everyone. Lots and lots of love. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Minal. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Meenal.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Lots of love. Bye, all.